Golden State Warriors restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga has made it clear he wants a starting role. But to former coach-turned-analyst Stan Van Gundy, that kind of opportunity won't come in Golden State, or with any team that expects to compete for a title. He's only 22, without a lot of experience, so could all this improve? Absolutely. Van Gundy told the San Francisco Chronicle, "If you're going to have him out there, you have to play through him. To me, he's either a primary scorer on a bad team or a bench scorer on a good team." It's a sharp assessment of a player whose career has been caught in limbo. The number 7 pick of the 2021 NBA draft has shown flashes of star potential, none brighter than when he carried the Warriors' offense during Stephen Curry's absence in last season's playoffs. In 4 games against the Timberwolves, Kuminga averaged 24.3 points on 55% shooting and 38.9% from 3. The Warriors lost every game. Jonathan Kuminga-Steve Kerr disconnect. That stretch summed up Kuminga's tenure with Golden State. Tantalizing individual numbers, but little impact on winning. His ambition to be more than a role player has repeatedly clashed with Steve Kerr's system, which prioritizes ball movement and spacing around Curry. When the roster is healthy, Kuminga often found himself glued to the bench, his minutes shrinking when the stakes rose. Kerr hasn't shied away from explaining why. "I've been asked to win," Kerr told the TK show in May. "And right now, he's not a guy who I can say, I'm going to play 38 minutes with the roster we have, Steph, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, and put the puzzle together that way and expect to win." That blunt stance has only deepened the divide between player and team. Kuminga believes the Warriors have stunted his growth. ESPN's Shams Charania and Anthony Slater previously reported. Golden State, meanwhile, views him as an asset whose contract must reflect flexibility, not long-term security. The Warriors' current offer is a 2-year, $45 million deal with a team option on year 2, a structure designed to make him movable in trades. They've also asked Kuminga to waive the built-in no-trade clause that such contracts typically grant. Kuminga, for his part, wants a player option, leverage over his own future. He has made it clear he does not want to be a pawn. Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes on another level. His standoff comes at a time when nearly all of his draft peers have cashed in. Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, and Franz Wagner all secured 5-year, $224 million max extensions, deals that could rise to $269 million if they hit All-NBA or other benchmarks. Cunningham and Mobley already crossed those thresholds last season. Cunningham as a third-team All-NBA selection, Mobley as Defensive Player of the Year. Even players outside the max tier have found stability. Jalen Suggs signed a 5-year, $150 million contract. Jalen Green landed a 3-year, $105 million deal last summer before he was dealt to Phoenix for Kevin Durant this offseason. Kuminga? He remains in limbo. He believes he belongs in the same conversation as Cunningham and Barnes, according to the San Francisco Chronicle, citing a league source. Van Gundy doesn't see it. Cade Cunningham has proven to be the best of that class, Van Gundy said. He's been the number 1 guy, elevated his team, proven he's an all-star. Kuminga could make a better case with Barnes, but the difference is their ability to make plays for other people. Barnes can really pass and help you that way. Cunningham has already dragged Detroit to the playoffs. Barnes took over as Toronto's face of the franchise after the Raptors dealt Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby. Is Jonathan Kuminga a star or a role player? For Van Gundy, Kuminga's more natural comparison is Green. Green has proven himself at a higher level as the leading scorer on a 50-win playoff team, said Van Gundy, who moved from TNT to Amazon Prime's NBA streaming. Kuminga has never been more than a role guy. Whether it's opportunity or not, those guys deserve to be paid at a higher level. Which leaves the Warriors and Kuminga at a crossroads. Is he a future star waiting for the right role, or a scorer better suited for the bench of a contender? Van Gundy leans toward the latter. I would say Wagner is a winning player and also Cunningham and Barnes, Van Gundy added. I'm not sure about Kuminga. I don't see the overall understanding of the game that allows him to fit among other guys and help a team play well at both ends. For now, the standoff continues. Kuminga wants more than the Warriors are willing to give. Golden State wants a role player. One side will have to blink. The Golden State Warriors are the only team in the NBA who have yet to add or resign a player in the 2025 offseason, but their lack of moves isn't a worry for superstar Steph Curry. Speaking at his annual summer camp, the four-time champion commented on the Warriors' quiet summer, highlighted by Jonathan Kuminga's contract standstill with the team. "My confidence has been built on the identity we were able to create over the last third of the regular season last year. The playoff journey," Curry said. "We have a really good team, and we do know we need some pieces to help take us to the next level." Golden State lost Kevin Looney in free agency to the New Orleans Pelicans this summer. They also lost Gary Payton too, but he, alongside Al Horford, can sign with the team once their Kuminga situation is sorted out. Curry is confident. Though Curry spoke positively about the Warriors, their lack of off-season moves comes as a surprise for a team predicted to be one of the league's busiest this summer. Their last roster change came at the 2025 NBA trade deadline, acquiring Jimmy Butler for a package that sent Andrew Wiggins to the Miami Heat. They had a 23-7 record with Butler in the lineup, but lost in the playoffs to the Minnesota Timberwolves after Curry suffered a hamstring strain in Game 1 of the second-round series. Regardless of their finish last season, as well as the questions surrounding Kuminga, Curry remains confident in him, Butler, and Draymond Green leading the team. "I think the veteran presence that we have, me, Jimmy, Draymond, we understand how to prepare through that uncertainty and be able to hit the ground running at training camp, knowing you should have some movement by then," Curry added. The 2022 Finals MVP also said, despite the off-season rumors, he is focused on controlling only what he can control. "But you control what you can control," Curry said. "And no matter how many new experiences you have or whatever the differences from this offseason to the previous ones, you don't let it affect your own personal preparation for the season and then to the conversations that we're having on what we need to do to get ready." The three-point leader's future with the Warriors. While Curry's comments share little worry about his faith in the team next season, questions have arisen about his future in the NBA. All expectations point to him finishing his career with the Golden State Warriors, but it remains unknown as to when his retirement will come. Speaking with Complex earlier in the summer, Curry said rehabbing from injury and preparing for the upcoming season are always the most difficult parts about playing in his late 30s. "The off-seasons for me are the hardest," Curry said. "Once you get into the 82 games, it's repetition, you know what you need to do. The games are the most fun. If you get hurt in the middle of the season when you're walking off the court and know something's wrong with you, that's the worst feeling in the world. All you're thinking about is the rehab process." Curry is currently the 9th oldest player in the NBA. While his play style is a good sign of his ability to continue as a face of the league, his recent injuries have cast some doubt on his future. "Rehab is scary, and you don't want to do it," Curry said. "So, if I can get through off-seasons, I feel like that's the marker as to how long I can push it." The Warriors' summer has been highlighted by Kuminga and their lack of off-season moves as a result of his contract dispute. Despite some worries about their future, Curry remains confident that he and his veteran teammates can make a strong push for the franchise's 5th title since 2015. The Golden State Warriors remain in a holding pattern this offseason as they navigate contract negotiations with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, which has slowed the rest of their offseason decisions. The Warriors are likely to sign NBA champion Al Horford, who is unlikely to return to the Boston Celtics amid a retooling phase. The 5-time All-Star is nearing the end of his career and will look to win his second championship in what could be his final year. While Golden State is viewed as Horford's most likely landing spot, the real question is how much financial flexibility will the team have after resolving the Kuminga situation. What would a realistic offer from Golden State look like? Dan Favale of Bleacher Report projects that the Warriors will offer Horford a 2-year, $11.7 million deal, which would include a player option for the 2026-27 campaign. Still, he notes that the amount could vary based on the outcome of Kuminga's deal. Depending on how the JK soap opera plays out, the Warriors could need to change up their offer, Favale wrote. If Kuminga proves to be ultra-expensive, it might leave them with only the veteran's minimum to dangle. If he leaves or gets moved in a sign-and trade, they could technically access the entire non-taxpayer mid-level exception. to count on the middle ground winning out again, and the 39-year-old joining Golden State for the taxpayers' mid-level exception. More, Al Horford may make surprising decision amid Jonathan Kuminga contract stalemate. If the Warriors reach an agreement with Kuminga, they'd likely fall between the first and second aprons, giving them access to the taxpayer mid-level exception. According to NBA insider Jake Fisher, the Warriors have reportedly offered the promising young forward a 2-year, $45 million deal with a team option in the second season. Kuminga, however, is pushing for a more lucrative deal, though he may settle if the contract includes a player option, which would allow him to enter unrestricted free agency next summer. A sign-and trade could still be on the table for Kuminga, but the longer the Warriors wait to finalize a deal, the longer Horford has to wait to sign.